If you're going to believe what the animal is presenting to you, instead of believing what you know from the love that is in you, you will hold yourself apart. You will hold it apart from you. And one way or another, you will dismiss it from your experience, and you will have missed God. And you will have missed the experience of your sonship. You will have missed your opportunity to be what you are and fulfill your function. Now, this can get tricky here. Everyone convinces you of what you want to perceive, and of the reality of the kingdom you have chosen for your vigilance. You want to know something? The most loving person, the most principled person, the kindest person in the world, let's say me, for example, can be misperceived by any of you if you want to misperceive me. And you can also misperceive the Christ who presents himself to you as a mistreated ego, who is defensive and self-protective, and aggressive and threatening. You can misperceive them as what they're presenting, and miss the opportunity to see them for what they truly are, miss the opportunity to shift gears from your tendency to engage in self-righteous reaction, and instead hold to the fact that they can't possibly be what they are currently perceiving themselves to be, and that love is the answer to their misperception. Everyone convinces you, whether they're good or bad, whether they're nice or not, everyone convinces you of what you want to perceive, and of the reality of the kingdom you have chosen for your vigilance. A nice person, a loving person comes along, and you're an ego in a self-protective mode, and you look at this nice, thoughtful, kind, non-defended person, and you say, "Oh boy, we got a sucker here. Here's someone I can take advantage of. Here's someone I can use," and they won't say no because they're so kind. And so they convince you of the reality of the kingdom you have chosen for your vigilance. You see? Everything you perceive is a witness to what? The thought system you want to be true. And all I'm ever doing is encouraging you to want something else to be true than what you have been wanting to be true. Every brother has the power to release you if you will to be free. Every mistreated animal that comes to your door has the power to release you from your tendency in your normal everyday life to behave on the basis of behavior you're presented with. And provide you with the opportunity to shift gears and behave on the basis of the love that is in you, which it is your function and your birthright and your fulfillment to embody. So every brother, whether pleasant or unpleasant, has this power to release you, because no matter what their presentation is, it gives you the opportunity to choose to be in alignment with your real nature. Provides you with the opportunity to see God there, which causes you to remember that you are the Son of God, and that therefore the brother is the Son of God, setting you on the track of singularity, which itself is the absence of fragmentation, the absence of friction, the absence of conflict. And in the purity of the singularity, the light of love has the opportunity to illuminate God to you and to them. You cannot accept false witness of him unless you have evoked false witness against him. Oh, here comes another sucker. You've evoked false witness against this loving person. You see? If, on the other hand, separate and apart from your evoking false witness against him, if he speaks not of Christ to you, you spoke not of Christ to him. You hear but your own voice, and if Christ speaks through you, you will hear him. Now, a frightened animal does not speak by his behavior the truth about himself. And your brother can speak not of the Christ to you, but you do not have to hear that which is not of the Christ from him as though it's true. You can hear his distress call just like you would the stray dog. And you will not believe that it's an unalterable fact. And because you see the Christ there, in spite of that one's lack of being able to see the Christ in himself, you will have the capacity to love with endurance. Providing the environment of safety in which fear can vanish. The next section is entitled Experience and Perception. It is impossible not to believe what you see. But it is equally impossible to see what you do not believe. perceptions are built up on the basis of experience, and experience leads to beliefs. It is not until beliefs are fixed that perceptions stabilize. In effect, then, what you believe, you do see. Whether it's true or not. What you believe, you do see. And your belief, therefore, becomes the structure through which you experience life. It becomes your prison. It becomes that which binds you, because you will see only what you believe. Now, mind you, you see only what you believe because you have chosen to see only what you believe. You have chosen what you believe. Waking up is a movement out of belief. In effect, then, I'm repeating, what you believe, you do see. That is what I meant when I said, "Blessed are ye who have not seen and still believe." For those who believe in the resurrection will see it. Oh, I know. You're nothing but a hunk of matter, born of woman, full of trouble for a few days, and you die. That's what you believe. Tain't so, but you believe it. Tain't so, and so. Trumpets blaring. You don't have to believe it. You can abandon the belief and inquire beyond it. Those who believe in the resurrection will see it. Well, the only resurrection worth a hill of beans today is yours. And those who believe in it, you who believe in it, will see it. The resurrection is the complete triumph of Christ over the ego, not by attack, but by transcendence. How do you nurture a frightened and abused animal into affectionate behavior and trust? By transcending the presenting picture that it gives to you. Right there where it appears that there is a damaged animal. When you transcend that presentation by not honoring it, by not believing it, you leave the door of your love wide open so that it can be extended to that which is there in that animal that is capable of being unafraid because it no longer believes that it must be afraid. You don't bully the animal into fearlessness. You don't twist its tail or its ears to get it to sit down and realize that it doesn't have to be afraid. You see? You don't transform it. You don't transform its fear by attacking the stupidity of its fearfulness when it's not called for. Complete triumph is accomplished not by attack, not by aggressive willfulness exerted over and asserted upon that animal. No. But by transcendence. For Christ does rise above the ego and all its works and ascends to the Father and His kingdom. You stick with the animal because you know there's a capacity to experience and feel love that it has been frightened out of allowing itself to feel. Your mind ascends to the truth about that animal and behaves on the basis of that truth. Would you join in the resurrection or the crucifixion? Now, I'm going to say this. Those are really the only two choices you have, and you practice one or the other of them all day long. Does that make you terrible? Does that render you punishable? Does that make you guilty? No, it just means that your choices have effects that are either fulfilling or not. And when they're not fulfilling, they're no fun. And if you don't like having no fun, then you need to make a different choice. Would you join in the resurrection or the crucifixion? Would you condemn your brothers or free them? I know. You'll condemn them a little while, so they will know what it feels like. And then you'll free them. But you want a little justice, please. But you see, as I said earlier, the most important part of what happens when you treat a mistreated dog well, with love, is that not only does it bless the dog because you cared about the dog, it brought you into perfect alignment with your function, your purpose, and therefore your sanity. So, would you condemn your brothers or free them? It means, would you do what is in utter harmony with your being that causes you to wake up to the truth of you? Or would you do that which confuses you causes a loss of memory of the truth about you and puts you in a place of constant suffering and strife. You make the choice between the two all day long. There aren't any other choices. Would you transcend your prison and ascend to the Father? Well, not until Joe suffers a little bit more, because it's just too satisfying to see him get his comeuppance. Hold on, God. I'll be there in a minute. Which means, hold on, me. I'm choosing to suffer and be ignorant of my birthright a little longer. Continuing, for these questions are all the same and are answered together. There has been much confusion about what perception means, because the same word is used both for awareness and for interpretation of awareness. I perceive that fellow over there. I experience the presence of that fellow over there. And I perceive a really nice guy. Or I perceive somebody who doesn't take very good care of himself. See? The latter are interpretations. The latter are assessments. And they're different from being aware that something is occurring there as a specific experience available to all of you to experience. Yet, you cannot be aware without interpretation. And what you perceive is your interpretation. This course is perfectly clear. I know you all laugh. This course is perfectly clear. You do not see it clearly because you are interpreting against it and therefore do not believe it. And if belief determines perception, you do not perceive what it means and therefore do not accept it. Now, let's change the words. Your brother or sister is perfectly clear. You do not see them clearly because you are interpreting against them and therefore do not believe them. The clarity, the clear movement of being that they are. And if belief determines perception, you do not perceive what they mean and therefore do not accept them, the Christ that they are. The ego perceives only. The Holy Spirit knows. The Holy Spirit is nothing more than your right mind. Your right mind knows. Why? Because it doesn't lean into the presentation the world makes to you. It doesn't lean into the presentation your brothers and sisters extend to you. It doesn't lean into the definitions given to the universe or to the objects in your daily life. It leans into God. To learn of God what the meaning is of each and everything. It bypasses perception altogether. It does not engage perception in any way. It transcends perception by not engaging it in any way. And that's why I so often say, ask of the Holy Spirit, what does this mean? What does that mean? Sit and be present with things, with an innocent mind, a mind innocent of past perceptions, a mind innocent of the intent to see what you've always seen before, and a desire to have that thing convey to you, by virtue of your willingness to be intimate with it, what it really is, what its capital M meaning is, what God is being right there, right now, and the why of God's being it that way. The fullness of the glory of God right there. And I'll tell you something. The fullness of the glory of God, those words, is not what is being right there. So don't look at the rose and say, oh, I've had this wonderful realization. It's the fullness of the glory of God. No, it's not the fullness of the glory of God. Those are just the best words that one can come up with for an experience, an intimate experience of undiluted meaning, undiluted divine meaning that not only defines itself, but defines you divinely, as well as the Father, and as well as everything else, so that all of it is drawn together into a unity, a singularity, without any of it losing its distinctness. Yet, continuing, different experiences lead to different beliefs. Well, they only lead to different beliefs if you are in the ego mode, the defensive mode, where you are analyzing everything so that you can come to conclusions which will become your beliefs. Beliefs which will absolutely govern what you see. Different experiences lead to different beliefs, and experience teaches. I am leading you every Sunday night. And every time you listen to me, in the privacy of your own mind, on any given day of the week, I am leading you to a new kind of experience, which you will become less and less willing to deny. I'm leading you to an experience that isn't being colored by your predisposition to see things according to your already existing beliefs. I am leading you to an experience that comes of unguarded, unpremeditated conscious awareness.